get it.
Let's get it.
Wait, should I turn that down? Just a hair.
Welcome to Poor Decisions.
Yes. Podcast always in progress.
That's right. I'm Conor.
And I'm Brian.
And welcome
to the show.
Welcome, your ear holes.
Yeah, here we go. Clap it up, everybody. Come on, clap it up.
Yeah, starting strong.
Yeah, come on. All right, we're feeling.
Well, let's get right into it.
How about a beer?
Yes. Let me get you some glasses.
Some glasses. How are you today, sir?
I've been good. I actually had it because we've had a lot of airmail Canon payouts.
Oh, yeah.
In the month of March.
I saw Craig got one.
Yeah, well, so I downloaded all the videos and I created reels for those
because nice.
The live videos don't stay uploaded longer than 30 days. And so I've been trying to download them and then turn them into reels. That way, if the people want them, that for their own little highlight reel and stuff.
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course.
So I had one all the way back into February on the 27th that I did that one. I created 5 reels today because
wow.
And so my plan is all right, I'm going to try to release one a day.
Yeah.
Now for the next 5 days. So I went ahead and jammed them all out, got them all knocked out, and there was one of them. I'm like, yeah, they only hit one bag, so we still have plenty of pot. I said what I said.
Yeah. Plenty of pot.
There's still money in the pot for next time.
but not plenty of pot.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
You don't do that.
I don't do that. No.
Well, let's get into this beer.
Yes. So this was a gift.
This was a gift from Chris Hams
for your last day, but
for my last day.
We plan on getting into the last day discussion.
Yeah.
On the special that we're
so
going to be recording here soon.
This is a Golden Monkey Belgian style Tripel, 9.5%.
Is that a 19-ounce can?
I think so.
God dang.
19.2.
Oh, it's one of those freaking milliliter freaking whatever.
From Victory Brewing Company in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. So I'm assuming some outskirt of Philly, right? One would assume that it's...
I think besides Philly and Pittsburgh, everything's an outskirt.
That's fair. That's fair. So it's a Tripel. I love Tripels.
Oh, yeah.
I almost feel like we should have saved this and done a Mousetrap side by side.
Yeah.
But I feel like I know Mousetrap pretty well.
Yeah.
As a beer.
This one, it definitely has that Belgian smell. It just doesn't have as much of that bubble gum on it that Mousetrap does.
It smells a bit oxidized. I don't know if that's just because of the style but I also haven't had a Tripel in a long time.
By 17 December of 25. So
it's fresh. It was fresh, but I don't know. Maybe just also, I'm a bit stuffy, so my nose is a bit wonky.
You were doing some cleaning today.
I was dealing with a lot of chemicals and dust today.
Yeah.
So
was it because you started the new job?
Started the new job. Detailing RVs at Transwest.
Oh, yeah. We missed something. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
We just kind of dove right into it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's solid, though.
That's a Tripel.
It doesn't feel like a 9.5.
No, not at all.
I mean, kind of like, Mousetrap doesn't feel like
what is it, 8.5?
8.6.
8.6, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good.
But no, it was a good day, man.
Well, thank you for sharing with me, and thank you, Chris, for bringing that in.
Thank you, Hams.
No longer cellar tween.
Let's give thanks to the Hams.
We may praise the Hams.
In Hams we trust.
In Hams we praise. Or trust, yes.
No, it was a good first day, man.
Yeah.
It's weird to go from food bev, which has been my life since I was 16 or 17.
Well, because you did a lot of coffee stuff, and you've done even edible arrangements.
Yeah, edible arrangements.
Server at a sushi restaurant.
Starbucks, sushi. What else? Parisi. Edible arrangements. Papa John's. I think edible arrangements is when I just turned 18, or it was the week before I turned 18.
Oh, geez.
So it's been 19 years.
So that was your first job then?
That was my third job.
Okay.
My first job was giving a radio survey, phone calls.
Oh, I remember we talked about this on Beers with Nigel.
Yeah.
When you and I were on it.
That was my first job. It was in a call center.
Yeah.
And I would call households and play them clips of songs, and they would create It would essentially, what they liked and didn't like was creating playlists for local radio stations. So that was my very first job. And then I went to, or actually, no, maybe I'm getting my timeline wrong. My very first job was at Halloween City at Oak Park Mall when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
It was a 6-month job because Halloween. And then I went from there to Macy's, still at the Oak Park Mall.
Yeah.
Once again, seasonal.
Yeah.
From like November to mid-January. They let me go because I was, a
seasonal
teenager employee. So
yeah. They're like, fuck off.
Yeah, we don't need you, dude. We don't need you.
Because I know the
with
IRS,
your long hair and your braces, you weirdo.
You just don't fit or mold.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious, man. Like I was in I had to, wear a dress shirt and a tie, and I had braces and long hair and acne on my forehead, and like I
looked like you should have been.
Had to put it back in a ponytail,
like Micro Center instead.
Yeah, for real.
Like you're some IT freaking professional.
I was one goofy looking motherfucker, that's for sure.
We all were. I mean,
yeah.
My senior picture, I had frosted tips.
Oh, you should see my senior photo. I found it the other day. I should have taken a photo of it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it was right after I cut my hair. So I didn't really know how to style my hair. It's not that it looked bad.
Yeah.
But like I look like a fucking baby.
Yeah. Like
baby face.
Meanwhile, I had hair, and most people that have known me, even when I was, in the military, like I still had short hair, but like I had, longer hair.
Yeah.
And had blonde tips.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was.
See, I did the blonde tip ramp hairstyle.
Oh, the spoiler?
Yeah, I just did that. It was like 5 pieces of hair.
I always called it the spoiler.
I didn't do the frosted tips, but I did that because that was
little swoop or whatever.
Oh yeah. I was one badass motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Who was
I was so cool. The only thing that was missing was a puka shell necklace.
and some Doc Martin freaking sandals. And board shorts.
Or some jellies.
Yeah. And a weight beater.
Yeah.
Or
no,
I
never
shirt, if you want to call it.
Well, I never did the M&M. Are you talking about like the M&M look? Like
not
the Slim
completely
Shady?
like that.
Okay.
But like the same dude bro type of thing.
Yeah.
More like the Sugar Ray.
Oh yeah, the Mark McGrath.
Yeah, Mark McGrath. I was blanking on his name. Yeah.
Well, no, he is Sugar Ray.
Yeah, but he had the
white Sugar Ray
beater shirt too, with the almost like the necklace, but then like you had like the sandals that with like the 1.5 inch freaking
Oh yeah,
sole or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, those so cool.
Oh yeah.
What a look.
I had a pair of those sandals.
I never had the sandals, but I did own quite a few pairs of Jinkos.
I had a couple Jinkos, but I never did like the huge ones.
Which those are a hot commodity.
I know.
Here.
I still have a pair
on
somewhere.
eBay. You can find a pair of Jinkos for like $150.
I should probably find mine if they're still around.
I should have kept them.
Because I had a pair.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I may have ended up getting rid of them because.
Oh, I know I did.
It was like a 32 waist.
Well, and it was like the legs were so wide, and everyone wanted to see how far they could destroy their Jinkos.
Oh yeah.
On the on the back here.
Yeah.
And like
I couldn't go with that. Like so I went, but like all the other jeans at that time were like, tapered. And I wanted like the relaxed fit because I had larger legs.
Oh, I wanted the boot cut that were just obnoxious.
Yeah, so I basically got boot cut, but it wasn't
it's hiding your
it wasn't
shoe.
The flared out boot cut.
It looks like you're hovering because no one can see your feet moving.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're out of food and bev now.
Out of food and bev for the first time in like 20 years.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And I mean, that's pretty much like how long I did drafting.
Yeah.
And like people have tried to get me to go back to drafting. I'm just like, I don't know.
At one point when I was at Starbucks, I did work at this place for 1 month called Vitalograph. It was in Lenexa, and they would supply like some sort of respirator or breathing device to like medical like clinics and stuff.
Almost like a CPAP type of
something like that. Yeah, it would like test your like the strength of your breath and everything and your diaphragm. And so I did that for a month. Also still working at Starbucks. So during that time, I never left food bev, but I did have a Monday through Friday. And it was in an office and it was terrible because all I did was wait around for emails.
We need this order. Okay.
And I would rewrite SOPs.
Oh, shit.
And it was awful because I didn't know what the fucking SOP was.
Yeah.
I'm just like, they would give me an old one and be like, okay, here's the highlighted things that we need to add and remove. And I'm just like,
meanwhile,
okay.
AI would just crush that shit now.
Oh, yeah. Well, this was, that was 2012.
Yeah.
So that was 13 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. No, 2014, because it's when I moved back from Los Angeles.
L.A.
But yeah, food and bev is out of my life, man. We'll see how long it takes until that monster comes knocking back on my door.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know one of our buddies, Chris Laurie, is the same way. Like, because he moved from Colorado here and was still in food bev stuff, and he's out of it now, and
seems happy.
He seems way happier.
Yeah. See, and like I said, for my first day, dude, like it was crazy to the first 4 hours went by so fast.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, oh, my lunch.
Yeah.
And then it's an hour-long lunch. And then the next 4 hours went by faster than the first 4.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, it's like 4:45, and I'm just like, oh, shit, I'm leaving in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And then everyone leaves at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Just like, well, this is weird, and no one's hanging out. And
see, and I guess I've always been more, and I was talking about that right before we went live, and, said that I've never even really known that, just because most of the places I've had, it's like, okay, I was allowed to work overtime for various reasons.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons, like when I worked at a warehouse, like there was a lot of people that, like, 5 o'clock hit, bam,
They're
gone.
out.
Everybody was gone.
Yeah.
But then, like, there was a handful of people that always ended up to stay, but because they had higher level positions
that
and,
would
like,
require...
so I always end up like literally, like, in the first 2 weeks of me going into this warehouse job I had, like, they put me in the receiving lead position. They're like, clearly you can tell what you're doing, and we're wanting to move this guy to something else who was the receiving lead, so you're going to be the receiving lead. I'm just like, okay.
Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. It's cleaning. It's my shit, dude. I love it.
Yeah. It's your jam.
It really is, dude. And, like, it was funny this morning before I left. We had, like, dishwasher was clean, needed to be emptied, needed to be reloaded. And I was just like, oh, this is me getting ready for work. Is cleaning.
Is this what this is like?
is I'm going to put away something clean and clean stuff and make dirty things clean again.
Yeah, because, like, even at the brewery, like, you never had to do it, but, like, because I guess when you did it before, like, when the Chive was still open, like, we would have to be there at, like, 11 or 10:30 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's still several hours later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but, like, to wake up at 6:30 and be like, okay, cool, I've got an hour and 10 minutes to, like, wake up, drink some coffee, drop a deuce.
Yeah.
Which
is a good amount of time, because, like, lately, like, I've been getting up early, not as early as Jen. Like, I'll kind of wake up, and then I've been setting my alarm. That way I don't end up, like, just staying in bed.
Yeah.
For, till, like, 9 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm usually still up at, like, 7 or 8 o'clock. But then it's like, okay, I go get coffee before it gets cold, because our coffee maker has, like, a smart warning plate on it.
Is it a timer? Do you have it on a timer?
It's not on a timer. It's one of the Ninja
coffee
things.
Yeah.
So it has what they call, like, an Intella plate, or hot plate.
Uh-huh.
And so it
if it's been like an hour and a half, it
starts to slowly cool down, or like apparently it will read the weight. It can sense the weight of it. So if it's heavier, it'll stay warmer. But if it's almost empty,
it'll just kill it.
Drops down. It'll stops. And then after a while, it just shuts off.
Yeah.
And so, like, I try to make sure I get up before it shuts itself off.
Well,
and then I have to deal with cold coffee.
Dude, I love cold coffee, man. Like,
yeah, I know we've talked about that. Like, you turn it in, if you
Old
have
brew.
anything left over, you
Old
turn
brew.
it into ice cubes.
So I've done that before, but now, like, I guess now that we're getting into the summertime, and I'm really trying to dial back on my caffeine.
Yeah.
Because I found out when I did my physical that I am on the low end of high blood pressure.
Oh, shit.
So, but I'm also just like, okay, well, I drank coffee on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And this job has been stressing me the fuck out. So, like, trying to just like have 1 cup a day with breakfast. So I'm trying to get back into eating breakfast.
Yeah. And I know I've been like, things have been crazy for Jen and I lately too. So it's like, even I've been like just out of sorts, even though nothing's really changed for me. Besides, I guess I've been working a little less.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's been some added stress. And
yeah, no, it was the added stress. And I'm just like, they're like, has anyone ever told you this before? I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
I've never been told that I have high blood pressure. I'm 34.
Like, I've actually, whenever, like, I've been, done my blood pressure, because there was a short period of time where, like, sometimes they would do it and they got concerned because it was low.
Yeah.
And it's because, like, they would do the whole heart rate, whatnot, like when they do in the air pump and they put in the little stethoscope underneath it or whatever. They're like, it's actually, like, really low. Like, that. I'm like, is that a concern? They're like, not if you're healthy. I'm like, well, I mean, I've lost some weight. I've been working out a lot. This is like, okay, then you should be fine.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had one time, like, I was giving blood and they almost didn't let me give blood because my heart, like, it was my resting heart rate
was too low.
Was so low.
Whoa.
It was like in the 40s.
Holy shit. No, mine's healthy. Like, it's in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it was a high 40.
Yeah.
But they're like, I'm like, well, is that a problem? They're like, well, like, the concern is that you just pass out. I'm like, well, do you want me to go run around the building real quick or something? I mean, like,
give me a cookie.
It's like, literally, like, they're like, well, we'll come back and check in like 5 minutes. So I spent 5 minutes just kind of like breathing heavier, basically. I mean, not quite that fast because I didn't want to make myself hyperventilate.
But sir, you're now hyperventilating. We cannot take your blood.
You went from one side to the other side. Like, sorry. So yeah. Anyhow, March Madness is going on.
It sure is. It is.
I don't know
the
how many,
madness of March.
Yeah, I know. Like, after the first round, I saw something that was like only 120 perfect brackets.
Yeah,
were still remaining.
And I saw some stupid stat. It was like for you to get a perfect bracket is like one in like something quadrillion or some stupid.
It was
shit
basically
like
a quintillion or like. Yeah, it was like something like I saw something like that.
It was a number that started with a Q.
Yeah, but it was like a quintillion is like a million or something like that. And in order to hit a perfect bracket, you would have to do that 96 more times.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm like, that's fucking. I mean,
but surely, I'm sure at some point, people will have enough time and AI.
Oh yeah,
to try to predict the perfect bracket. And
I still think it's I just don't foresee it nowadays, especially with the whole NIL thing. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. Well, and wasn't like, I feel like I have heard less and less of this, but if you got a perfect bracket, like fucking Warren Buffett would give you $1 million or something. Yeah,
I actually just saw a thing.
Like
I didn't read it, but I just saw a thing. It was saying that he's still doing that, but he has changed the rules so it makes it easier for you to get paid.
Because I think it's dumb, but I don't. What's the rule that you just like guess 75% of it? Like, and
I don't know.
And you at least guess the Final Four in the winner.
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it Final Four in the winner. If you really want to give money out. Don't give them a perfect bracket. Just, hey, can you predict the best 4 teams that are going to be there and predict the winner of those 4?
Yeah, because, I mean, again, there's, 64 teams total?
Yeah.
And actually there's 68 because now there's
4 in, 4 out.
There's 4, yeah.
Or whatever it is.
They have the play-in game for each
for each
quarter
division
of it now. And like eventually it's just going to be like they're going to double that. Because, I mean, they've been trying to talk for years now.
I hope they don't do 100 diddly-do teams.
It'll take a while for them to get up to that much. But I know, like, even, like, World Cup in soccer, they've been talking about trying to increase the amount of teams.
Yeah.
Like, if you keep doing that, like, you're going to have less soccer games.
Yeah.
Because just naturally
less that count.
More nations are just going to get in.
Yeah.
And
like less that actually give a shit to the people who enjoy the sport.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy college basketball. I love March Madness.
Yeah.
But if it's 128 teams, then I don't When's it going to start? In February?
Yeah, you're gonna literally. Is it gonna negate the freaking?
Is it gonna go until the end of April? Like,
it would probably be that.
How many games are going to be played a day? Like,
I mean, it's not like any of them are going to classes anyway.
Is it going to be like a round robin? Like, or is
that would probably be an interesting idea? Honestly.
Is like one team going to have to play like three games a day or some shit? The games are already like almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, and then they're playing during that time. Like they're playing every other day.
And those last 15 seconds of the game are 4.5 hours.
Jesus Christ! There was one game on yesterday that was just like. Oh my God, this is taking forever.
Up. I would still rather watch it than the NBA.
I'd rather read a book.
I mean, fair, but if I'm being forced to watch basketball.
Yeah, I'd rather watch college basketball. I just But
the NIL and the portal has kind of ruined a lot of it for me.
Yeah.
I've dropped off as being I grew up around KU basketball fans, inherently making me a KU basketball fan.
Yeah, and I'm not. I grew up around MU people and Nebraska people and Notre Dame people.
So, like, within the past 3 years, I've lost interest in the team and the sport.
Yeah.
I used to follow the season religiously.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it's just like getting older and losing, interest in things that you used to love.
I mean, priorities, and I don't want to say it's priorities. Like, it's just interest.
Well, I've got more things
change.
Going on too.
Yeah.
as someone in their 30s.
Things that fall off to the wayside. Like, because a decade ago, like I was hugely into, soccer stuff, paying way more attention. But in the last, few years, it's kind of like I still somewhat pay attention,
but it's waned.
Obviously, and it's not a priority for me.
Yeah.
I mean, although sporting is sucking out loud.
I mean, they have been for a while, and I don't really know anything about the sport or the team.
This year's even worse than the start of last year.
At least there's the current.
Yeah, and they, as long as they continue going on the pace that they're going, which I feel is a better chance. I'm more excited about women's soccer.
Yeah.
Which women's soccer is always entertaining, even if you have a bad team.
It's so much better.
Women's sports, for the most part, basketball's is more entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to offend any women's basketball people. It's just, that is, like, I enjoy women's sports.
Yeah.
Especially, like soccer and like the softball. And like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Where it's like, the women's softball stuff, when they have their World Series going on, it seems way more entertaining
than the men's.
100%. World Series,
yeah.
College World Series. Because, you get the chants going on and all of them supporting each other.
Yeah.
And cheering each other on.
And I'm sorry, but I feel like I'd be more comfortable swinging a pitch, swinging at a pitch from a man playing baseball than a woman playing softball.
Yeah, because
it's so much closer and those motherfuckers fly.
Oh, yeah. They're throwing pretty much just as hard.
Like, your reaction time is smaller.
Mm-hmm. And it's a bigger ball.
Yeah. It's going to hurt more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's soft, but is it?
Because, like, I know, like, Jen and I went to a women's soccer game, and, like, we talked about trying to go to one of the sporting games, last year, too. And I'm just like, like, we looked at it, and I'm just like, if we don't, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Yeah.
But I was super stoked to be going to the women's game.
Yeah.
To the current. And it's more entertaining to watch them.
Well, and I want to go to a current game.
I mean, unless you watch some of the men's European games. Those can be entertaining.
Which I just, like, my thing with the sport, especially, like, when it comes to, like, European leagues, too many clubs, man. I don't know who to be a fan of.
Well, yeah, and that's so they also have, like, the whole promotion relegation thing.
Yeah.
Which is very
I
cool.
like that.
Yeah, and I actually just recently saw...
Because, like, could you imagine if that was in the NFL?
Oh, God, yes.
Like...
and they're starting... like
Alabama would be, like...
in the,
yeah.
I think that there's a chance for that consideration, but, it comes down to money. Ultimately. Oh, yeah. But, like, if the UFL kind of keeps going the way that they're going, I think there's a distinct chance. And
or,
I think,
hey, even the XFL.
yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
And I know they're making a bigger push for it, even on the MLS side of things, because the USL Pro is becoming stronger as well.
Yeah.
And actually even, so there's a tier system in American soccer as well. So you have MLS on top, then you have what they call USL Pro, then you have USL 2, and then it kind of will start to split from there where you have like...
Is that like AAA, AA baseball?
Kind of, because like Sporting has a USL Pro team. They call it Sporting 2.
Right.
And then they just recently played a team from Des Moines called the Des Moines Menace, and what they call the Open Cup game.
Okay.
And which is like FA Cup for England, right?
Yeah.
And the USL 2 team, the Des Moines Menace, beat the USL Pro team. And so like that's a cool thing to be able to see.
Yeah.
You know, when you have those competitions, it's like the FA Cup over in England is you'll get multiple levels of teams playing up or down levels.
Yeah.
So then sometimes you'll see like some of like the Premier League teams, you know, if they had to play a team that's in the next division down, like, okay, they may run with like a B squad roster. And if they win, great. If they don't, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the fact that, you know, they have so much soccer because the season runs longer. And I know some people are like, oh, it's so long. Like, they don't play as many games as like baseball.
160 diddly-do games.
Yeah. Like, they will play, I think, the most games any team has ever played across their season and the tournaments that they were in, which was like 2 or 3 tournaments they ended up being in over the course of a season, was like 50 games.
Wow.
I mean, their season is like 9 months long.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's not
a fair balance, I think.
Yeah.
It still is a lot of time to commit.
It really is.
I mean, but you know, that being said, the NFL is what, 7 months long?
Yeah, and they're playing 17 fucking games.
Yeah.
And, you know, possibly
sometimes
21.
Sometimes there's 4 a week.
Yeah.
Like,
and like soccer, like you're not going to play more than 2 a week.
Yeah.
You know, usually it'll be like a Tuesday or Wednesday and then like Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So if you're playing on Tuesday, you would probably play on Saturday then. If you're playing on Wednesday, you're not going to play again until Sunday. Every once in a while, they'll have like a Monday game.
Yeah.
Depending on if things had to get moved around because of other competitions.
Right.
But the leagues usually work really well with each other on moving those things because it's just become a standard thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like these past 2 years with NFL, you know, the games, you know, because of weather and stuff, games have had to get pushed.
Yeah.
Like, including a playoff game had to get pushed to a Monday.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't play the game. And, I mean, they deal with a lot of snow over in England, too.
Yeah, they do. They're not.
And all they really do is, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to play with a high-vis ball instead. So it's
like
it's instead of a white ball, it's a bright orange ball.
Yeah. Hey.
And then, like, they have to deal with a lot less lines.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, you know, they will try and clear the fields, and a lot of those fields have warmers in them now, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, if it's snowing, like, starting to snow during the middle of the game or whatever, if they can't keep it clear, like, they will have people just run it and, like, pretty much just shovel where the lines are.
And there's not as many as there are on a football field.
No.
So
it's a lot different because I remember, it was like a decade ago, there was an international game. It was America, and I think it was Costa Rica. They were playing in Colorado, and it was snowing. And they had to do that. They had to switch over to the orange high-vis ball, and then they had to, like, they had people that was, like, literally if the ball was, like, all the way over on one side of the field, you'd have people clearing off the lines on the other side of the field, or somebody, like, pretty much sprinting across the field trying to clear
hilarious.
that center line.
Like, can you guys just keep it on this side for, like, give me, like, 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. So, but that was always fascinating. So, something else I just recently came across. I saved it somewhere else, but did you see this? Let me clear this out. This, it's from Elite Gridiron Post, and they're expecting Caleb Williams to be the first billionaire player. So
Really?
it says Caleb Williams reportedly wants to become the first NFL player to sign a $1 billion contract. In quotes, it says, he will be worth every penny because he makes every player around him better. And that's from Caleb Williams' agent. I feel like that's a very huge asterisk.
Yeah.
Air quote.
I don't know about
Making
that.
every player better? Does that include the defense?
No, definitely not.
And it says Caleb Williams' camp says that they expect the contract to look like this: 10 years, $1.1 billion, which equates to $110 million per year.
Good God.
First, $100 billion plus NFL contract. It'll be $600 million guaranteed.
Good God.
And then a statue if he makes the Super Bowl.
Oh, man, I don't know.
That doesn't even say wins. That's makes.
I don't know, dude. I like him, but that is... Also, it's social media, so I'm taking everything with a grain of salt.
Huge grain of salt.
In the meantime, while you're scrolling through some things...
Yes, we need to get into another beer.
How about a beer?
Because I unfortunately have to, between 7 and 8 o'clock, go pick up groceries.
Yeah, and we got to record a special too.
Well, let's
get this one done. We'll do a couple things, and then we'll make try to make these a little bit shorter. So we'll wrap these up and yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like he has a lot to prove. It's year 2. It is now year 2.
I know.
So,
and they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. And they, they beat the Packers last weekend of the season, but like
when the Packers were already in the playoffs, right?
They already secured their spot.
So it's not like it really mattered.
Yeah.
They were probably trying to rest people, hoping that they would have a better first round.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I hope they're good this year. That's all I got to say. Go Bears.
Bears. All right. So this is...
What do we have here, Brian?
One that we're finally getting to called Old Doods. And it's Doods Stout from Odell Brewing Company, which is based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. This comes in at just 5% for stout.
That's a cool looking can.
It is a cool looking can. I've been excited about it. It's basically, it just looks like it's the bottom legs of, some old dudes hanging out hanging out at a bar.
That's cool.
I dig it. This is episode 61, right?
Oh, we're 8 away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that I'm over on Buzzsprout, I forgot. We have some fan mail.
Oh.
That we need to be getting to as well. And sorry, Chad, that we missed it on the last one.
We're a podcast in progress.
Always in progress. But he said he was excited to see the whole distribution aspect. I don't remember if I did that one or not. Anyway, the last one, though, he said that he was sorry to see no longer going to be working for Transparent, Conor.
Oh, that was towards me. Okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
And he says, you'll have to keep us posted on where you go. We've done that now. And then he goes on and says, you guys were talking about the train. We were talking about traveling and whatnot.
Yeah.
He says, from Kansas City to Jefferson City, there's only one train track. And from Jefferson City to St. Louis, there are 2 train tracks. So it seems like they have less congestion between Jefferson City and St. Louis. Also, track speed from Kansas City to Jefferson City is 70 miles an hour. And from Jefferson City to St. Louis is 75 miles an hour.
Huh.
So that is actually pretty interesting information.
Because they have 2 train tracks.
Yeah, but then they're also going faster.
Yeah.
And it's closer.
Yeah.
So you're getting there way faster. But I still feel like and part of that conversation was the idea of a light rail.
Yeah.
Which, the
never
idea
gonna
of having a light rail would be to get from like Kansas City to St. Louis in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
or fuck, if there was a light rail from Denver to Kansas City to St. Louis, and it could take you like an hour to get between from Denver to St. Louis, like that'd be fucking wild.
Oh yeah.
It's never going to happen.
So, I saved a couple things on Instagram as well. And one of them is like, hear me out. A Disney live action Hercules movie with Tom Hiddleston as Hades and Chris Hemsworth as Zeus.
I like that.
But who would play Hercules then? I mean, I dig that idea, but
Henry Cavill.
I feel like the ages. You
can use AI.
I mean, you could, but like you almost want to find, honestly, some young up and coming, I'll say it, stud.
Yeah,
right?
of course, it's got to be a stud.
Yeah, to play Hercules.
Yeah,
right. Almost like what they did with Chris Evans in the first Captain America movie, where they made him look kind of meh.
Yeah, well, that was all not AI but CGI.
Yeah, but I mean, like again, look at Chris Evans and when he played Johnny Storm versus when he was Captain America. That's a big difference too. Yeah. So it's like I think it would be interesting. Like you're almost like saying like, hey, this could be a 5-year. Like, hey, we're going to do filming for like a year.
Yeah.
With this person as meh.
As meh.
And then, hey, we're going to come back in 2-3 years after this person is bulked up. And
yeah, who would it be? I don't know, man. I guess I don't know really any young stud actors off the top of my head.
That are kind of beefcake-ish.
Yeah, I don't know any beefcakes.
Yeah, or could be beefcakes.
Could beefcakes.
Think about Timothy Chalamet freaking just getting roided out.
Yeah, he would still be like 5'9".
I feel like he'd still be scrawny.
Yeah. I think he's like my height. I don't know how tall he is, but
I don't know.
He might be 5'8", 5'9", 145 pounds.
I'm just trying to think of like who. Like,
I don't know.
That would be interesting. That's something we might have to, if anybody listening, friggin' shoot
Let us know who you think that
you think
a live action Hercules would be.
Yeah. I also came across.
I saw this one.
Yes. There's a theory that Snow White is Lord Farquaad's mother. And they're using the new Snow White where she has that terrible looking haircut.
It's really bad.
So then it goes on. It says Lord Farquaad is very short, which could be explained by Snow White having a child with a dwarf.
So good.
Grumpy and Lord Farquaad wear the same belt, suggesting it may have been passed down from his father. And then Lord Farquaad uses a magic mirror in Shrek, similar to that of the evil queen in Snow White, which possibly means he inherited it.
I love this theory. I'm on board.
So ridiculous.
I'm on board with this. So I think that's vying for one of the worst movies.
It's already gotten on I think it's Rotten Tomatoes or wherever.
Yeah.
It's already gotten the lowest rating
ever.
And that's going against what was it?
Oh, I saw it. It was only a few years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will never like Disney live action movies. Fuck off.
But you know which one I'm excited for? And actually, Jen didn't know nothing about it, and Kylan actually asked her, like, "Hey, would you guys be interested in going and see it?" It was the Minecraft movie.
I don't know.
It looks catchy, but like watching the last trailer,
looks bad.
But I think
like as Jack Black playing fucking what's
Steve.
his name? It just the first trailer looked really bad.
But I think they know what they are doing, so they're being campy with it. And so if you're being campy with it and not trying to take it overly serious, I think there's an entertaining value there. Because you have Jennifer Coolidge in it, which ends up like running over one of the villagers.
And Jason Momoa looking like whatever the fuck he's looking like.
I can't remember which character that is, but that's somebody that's in the
Minecraft
lore.
The canon of Minecraft.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then like Jennifer Coolidge is just because then they start crossing real world.
I just like they're all going off the success of, like the Fallout series, the Mario movie. Like now they're just like mining any IP they can.
Oh yeah.
To try to squeeze money out.
I mean, that's going to be the closest thing you get to original idea for a movie nowadays.
Which is not. It's still not original.
It's not
though.
original just because we never dove into this beer.
No, we never did.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
We talked about it.
It's a
I
stout.
like the smell.
It's smoky.
A little bit, yeah, but not too strong. That's good.
Oh, I like that.
I like it. Yeah,
that's good. But I hate the blatant mining of IPs to try to justify that no one has original ideas anymore.
Well, and going off of that, though, have you seen the trailers for the live action air quotes, Lilo and Stitch?
No, because it's not live action because they're using CGI.
I know. Like,
I
they
fucking
have
hate that.
real people, but then, there's still
Stitch.
But Stitch is,
If it was a dog,
yeah.
then or a cat, like some, like a muskrat.
Yeah, and take
how about a badger? What if Stitch was a badger?
Honey badger. But take for example, like some of the Marvel stuff, where they had the cat and they had Cosmo in there.
Yeah.
And okay, actual cat, actual dog, stuff like that.
But then actual raccoon.
Yeah.
Rocket. He was a raccoon.
Trash Panda.
He was real.
Was he?
Yeah. You saw the last one when it was depressing as hell because they were all being
They showed his origin story.
Yeah, good God, man. I was not prepared for that.
And I knew it, but
that was
still
sad.
I knew his origin story, and I'm still like, fuck.
But no, I don't know, man. I don't know. The only thing that I hope they do, which I've seen like things on Reddit, if they do like a Red Dead Redemption TV series, like much to the chagrin of Fallout, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like I love that game. I love that series. Let's make that happen because Fallout is a game that I appreciate. Never played it, but that show was amazing.
Yeah, no, Fallout was super awesome. I'm excited for the second season.
I can't
wait.
They've
been filming it, and they I've seen not spoilers, but basically spoilers of
who did they just
sets.
Well, I haven't seen that, but I'm trying to remember who they said was going. Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah, he's
going to be in Fallout 2.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah,
let's fucking go, Macaulay, dude.
I'm excited.
Your brother just won a fucking Oscar. Like, you deserve something too, man.
Yeah, I actually just saw a funny story. Because he is married to Brenda Song, who is part of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and she's been in a couple other shows as well, and she's much younger than Macaulay as well. And like it popped up on my Instagram feed, and they were talking about. She was talking about in an interview how when she first met him, she thought he was just an a-hole because it was like right after she was on a show called Dad or whatever, Dads.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it had Seth Green on it and Giovanni. I can't remember.
Paul Giamatti?
No, younger guy. But it's like Giovanni.
I don't know.
I can't remember his last name, but like Seth Green was on it as well, and like their show had just gotten canceled, and like apparently Seth and Macaulay are pretty good friends.
Yeah, I can see that
as well because they're closer in age.
Yeah,
and so they were kind of just hanging out after the show had gotten canceled, and apparently he came in and just was like kind of laughing it up, basically making it no big deal, and she was like pretty distraught over it. And then she's like, a couple of years go by, and she was going to like Seth's, like some sort of vacation with Seth as well, because they became friends. Well, her and Macaulay end up getting on the same plane.
Oh.
And like sitting next to each other.
Oh.
And then she basically was talking about how she's like, oh shit, I had to sit next to this guy. He was such an a-hole last time. But then couldn't find out like he was actually just being kind of just trying to lighten the mood on the whole idea because it really does suck getting a show canceled.
Yeah.
When you've put so much work into it and like they barely made one season.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that show. I enjoyed it. Because like they were like game programmers or whatever for like their own small little studio or something like I can't fully remember, but and it was a comedy type of show. Sitcom,
like a workplace comedy type of thing. Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Seth Green as well. And so she's like, we actually ended up kind of starting hitting it off, and then like we were hanging out, during the whole thing. And she's like, do I actually have a kind of a crush on this guy? Like, what the hell? Like,
that's hilarious.
She's like, like the whole idea of him being so. Apparently, Seth Green's wife pulled her aside. She's like, well, there's worse you could do for having a, even like a fling type of thing. And she's like, here we are, like X amount of years later, still having a fling.
Wow.
And having 2 kids in that fling.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, like it's really cool to see something like that kind of come together. Because like when I first heard about them being together, I'm like, that seems weird. Like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, how did he land
they
that?
They are nowhere close in age.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But,
wow.
Like I said, we should probably keep these a little bit shorter because we got to record a special, too.
We got to do at least one more episode.
And it's going to be a special.
Yep.
So, if you want to hear the special,
got to be a subscriber.
You got to be a subscriber. Actually, the special will be coming out before this episode. So
suck on that.
So, you missed the special.
But you can re-download it, future subscribers.
Yes, you can. And or wait like a year and a half, 2 years, and then we'll just end up,
we'll just drop it out there.
Make it not a special.
Yeah, we'll drop the paywall.
Yeah, exactly. But you should absolutely subscribe. And even if you don't monetarily subscribe, you should make sure you follow the show.
That was really close.
I need to turn that volume up somehow.
That was really close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. So, all right. Anyway, but yeah, make sure you subscribe. Share us with your friends. We're going to start doing some more stuff too with the changing of schedule stuff.
Yeah,
it's going to give us opportunities to be able to
be more creative and do more stuff and go out.
Exactly. I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that support.
So, but let's wrap this one up, and we'll do better next time.
And we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah. Once I find it, where the fuck did it go?
You got too many buttons.
Shut it down.
There we go.
Shut it down.
Bye, guys.